I was on a podcast today. One of the things that was asked is if I had any advice on crafting narrative for investors. The first thing that came to mind is that it's easy to dismiss being able to tell a story as frivolous and has nothing to do with building your company, especially going through YC. Our mindset is to try to get it done in as short of time as possible and then get back to building. And all that is true. Something that is less appreciated is that you can try to make the whole exercise of crafting a narrative for your investors into something that's valuable for building the company as well. You can align those goals with motivating your employees and being able to tell a story, a compelling vision for your employees that should be compelling for investors as well. And I'll explain subtly how they're different. I think the reason to Steelman why investors should care, aside from just making their jobs easier to pitch them, is that somebody who can tell a good story to investors can not only fundraise with other investors so that you can not run out of money. They want their investments to survive, and being able to pitch and fundraise is a skill. But additionally, if you can pitch and fundraise, that's also something that you can use to motivate your employees. So if you have trouble being able to craft a narrative for investors, you probably would similarly struggle to convince employees. How are they subtly different? Well, on the day-to-day of doing a startup, you build enough rapport with your team that you're able to share a far more nuanced picture of what's going on, the multiple experiments that are being run, that kind of, especially for technical founders such as myself, you want to be as comprehensive as possible. That is truth, that is correct. But if you tell such a story to investors, it's not that investors don't want the truth, but they want something that's legible in terms of risk, because they have a whole portfolio of companies all with their own risks. So they want you to basically have a simple, legible story. The kind of risk that you're prioritizing should be very clear, and you're not trying to do a bunch of other things. And this is just a matter of framing. The story that you're telling your employees and the story that you're telling your investors should be the same story, but one is a lot more pared down. So let me know if you enjoy this type of content. I can share with you the decks that I've raised with, the kind of feedback I've gotten.